French Open first round. Scores and matches. Marketa, Vondrousova. One of my favourite players, one of the players I follow. The Rebeka Masarova and Jannik Sinner v Christopher Eubanks. Marketa Vondrousova v Rebeka Masarova. Vondrousova leading 6-1, 3-1. Won the first set 6-1 and leads 3-1 in the second set. Break a serve. Masarova with serve to left. Vondrousova a forehand slice return and a short slice to net from Masarova, and then Vondrousova gets to it, and then Masarova returns it from the back of the court with a defensive lob, but an overhead smash from Marketa Vondrousova from the right to the left of the other side over the net, and that's a winner for Love 30 in this Rebeka Masarova service game. Masarova with a wide serve to the right, return from Marketa Vondrousova, then a forehand from Masarova. Vondrousova returns to Masarova to the net, but a forehand volley hits the net, so not quite getting enough of that volley to get it to the other side. So Love 40, 3 break points for Marketa Vondrousova for a double break in the second set. Masarova with a serve rather down the centre. Vondrousova returns, but it's over the net. Short just by the net, but Rebeka Masarova to it with a forehand slice, and that's a winner. Over the net to the left top corner and in for a winner. So 15-40. And then Masarova with a serve out wide, and it's a good short angle serve. And Masarova with another good wide serve and a forehand volley. Vondrousova returns to a defensive backhand slice, but then Rebeka Masarova finishes with a backhand volley for a winner. Masarova another good wide serve, and after a backhand slice return for Marketa Vondrousova, Masarova in with a forehand volley winner, a high one, and it's advantage Masarova in this game after deuce. First serve from Masarova hits the net, so a second serve. Second serve from Masarova in the middle of the box, then return by Vondrousova. Vondrousova backhand drop shot. Masarova onto it with a backhand, but hits the net, so deuce again. Masarova with a serve down the centre. Vondrousova returns to a forehand slice. Masarova gets there with a forehand slice, but then Marketa with a forehand winner down the line on the left. And it's at the back of the court, but in. Spot on depth on the shot, an advantage Vondrousova and break point. Masarova with a serve down the centre is just out, so a second serve. Masarova's second serve is out, and it's a double break for Marketa Vondrousova. So Marketa Vondrousova leads 6-1, 4-1. One of the passing shots of the match from Marketa Vondrousova on a deuce point with a forehand winner on the left. Passing shot past Rebeka Masarova and at the back of the court and the depth spot on and in. And Marketa Vondrousova with a double break in the second set. Rebeka Masarova with a bit of ball striking. Marketa Vondrousova, short backswing. Ball striking, but hits with spins and amounts of depth and backhand drop shot. And a bit of slice, and he's all right enough at the net as well. And Marketa Vondrousova 2 games in this set away from going through to the second round of the French Open. So maybe on to Christopher Eubanks v Jannik Sinner in a bit also. Vondrousova serve, middle of the box, returned by Rebeka Masarova. Vondrousova's forehand, and Masarova returns with a forehand with a bit of depth, and Vondrousova defensive forehand slice, but it's out and it's over the net, but out. So love 15. As Vondrousova hits a serve in the middle of the box, Masarova returns forehand and then forehand from Vondrousova. And then backhand from Masarova to Vondrousova's forehand, but Vondrousova a bit of depth on that forehand and comes in and finishes it with a drive forehand volley winner over the net of a drive volley, and is the shot, and it's a winner on the drive volley from Marketa Vondrousova, so 15-all. Vondrousova with the first serve, but a little bit out, so a second serve. Vondrousova the second serve, returned by Masarova on the backhand. Backhand to backhand, then Masarova the forehand, but it's a little bit out as went for depth on that forehand, but just a little bit out. So 30-15 to Marketa Vondrousova on this Marketa Vondrousova service game. Vondrousova with the serve. More out wide, returned by Masarova on the backhand, and then a Vondrousova backhand after that. Forehand from Masarova to Vondrousova's backhand slice return, and backhand from Masarova and backhand from Vondrousova. Masarova with a forehand to Marketa Vondrousova's backhand corner. Vondrousova returns, and Masarova in with a forehand volley, but it's just out over the net, but just out is the shot, and it's 2 break points. No, 2 game points rather for Marketa Vondrousova to hold this service game and be 1 game away from winning the match. Marketa's first serve hits the net, so second serve for Marketa Vondrousova. Vondrousova the wide serve, Masarova returns forehand, then backhand for Marketa Vondrousova. Has a bit of depth, but then Rebeka Masarova with a backhand passing shot winner on the left. So 40-30. Vondrousova with a serve hits the net. So second serve for Marketa Vondrousova on this point. Vondrousova's second serve more in the middle of the box, basically, returned by Masarova. And then Masarova a backhand drop shot over the net for a winner. And that's got it to deuce. Vondrousova with the serve, Masarova with backhand return, then Vondrousova with the forehand. Masarova forehand return, and Vondrousova with the backhand. Forehand from Masarova and backhand from Vondrousova, but can't quite get that one over the net. It's hit the net and it's advantage Masarova for a break in return. Marketa Vondrousova with a double break in the second set. Vondrousova with a serve. More towards middle box. A bit of returning from Masarova. Masarova's backhand to Vondrousova's backhand, and Vondrousova can't quite get that backhand over net. That hits the net, so that's a break in return. So Marketa Vondrousova won the first set 6-1 and leads the second set 4-2. So on to Christopher Eubanks v Jannik Sinner. And Jannik Sinner leads 6-3, 3-1. Jannik Sinner with the first set 6-3 and leads 3-1 for breaker serve in the second set, 15-0. Sinner with a serve hits the top of the net and over, but it'll be another serve. Sinner with a serve down the centre, return by Eubanks, and Sinner with a forehand to Eubanks backhand. Eubanks with the backhand, Sinner with a forehand, and Eubanks with a forehand to the corner. But Jannik Sinner with a forehand winner from out wide, cross court, short angle shot. Good shot for a winner from Jannik Sinner. Hit it cross from the right to the left over the net for a short angle forehand winner from Jannik Sinner. So 30-15 Jannik Sinner on this service game. Sinner with a serve towards more middle box, return by Eubanks with backhand slice, and Sinner with a forehand to Eubanks backhand. And Eubanks backhand is just a little bit long and out, so 40-15 to Sinner in this service game. Sinner with the serve out wide. Eubanks forehand return is maybe, it's just out. It's just out. So Jannik Sinner holds that service game. So Jannik Sinner leads 6-3, 4-1, 6-3 to Jannik Sinner to win the first set and leads with a breaker serve in the second set 4-1. And Marketa Vondrousova v Rebeka Masarova. So still a single break in the second set for Marketa Vondrousova. Vondrousova won the first set 6-1 and leads 4-3 in the second set with a single break in the other match. So Christopher Eubanks service game. Eubanks a bit of a wide serve. Sinner returns on the forehand, but then Eubanks' forehand after that is a bit out over the net, but a bit out. So love 15 on this Christopher Eubanks service game. Eubanks with a serve more out wide, but it's just wide and just out. So a second serve for Christopher Eubanks. Eubanks with a second serve, bit out wide again. Jannik Sinner returns on the backhand cross court, and then Christopher Eubanks with a backhand cross court in return. And the shot, I'd say, is in. Yep, it is. So an all right enough forehand winner, backhand winner rather, from Christopher Eubanks. Eubanks with a single-handed backhand, Sinner with a double-handed backhand. Eubanks first serve hit net, so a second serve. In the centre, comes in for volley after a Sinner return, and then Sinner with a lob after that, but Eubanks with an overhead smash winner at the net. So that smashed overhead over the net for a winner with the shot. So 30-15. Eubanks with the serve out wide, but it is just wide. So a second serve for Christopher Eubanks. Eubanks with a serve out wide. Sinner with a backhand return. Then a backhand from Eubanks cross court, and then Sinner returns that. Eubanks with a forehand and Sinner with a forehand. And backhand from Eubanks hits the net. So 30 all in this Christopher Eubanks service game. Eubanks with the serve. Hit the top of the net just as it went over net. So a let. So another serve for Christopher Eubanks, but another first serve though. Eubanks with the serve. A bit more centrally again. Sinner returns, and Eubanks with the backhand return by Sinner, and the backhand over the net, but just a little bit out. So a break point for Jannik Sinner in this service game of Christopher Eubanks. Eubanks with the serve, like in the middle of the box. Sinner returns, and then Christopher Eubanks with a forehand winner to the right corner of the other side net, and a shot over the net for a forehand winner from Christopher Eubanks. So juice on this Christopher Eubanks service game. Eubanks with a serve out wide. Sinner returns with a forehand, and then Eubanks with a forehand, Sinner with a forehand. Bit of a ball striking rally now, as Eubanks hits a forehand to Sinner's backhand, and Eubanks with a forehand. Sinner returns with a backhand slice. Eubanks with a volley, and the passing shot from Jannik Sinner just out. So advantage Christopher Eubanks in this service game. Just all right enough from Christopher Eubanks to edge that point. Eubanks with a serve down the centre, return by Jannik Sinner on with a return, and then Christopher Eubanks with a forehand to the left corner, and it's over the net for a winner. The shot is in, and it's a winner. So it's still a single break in the second set, and Jannik Sinner leads 6-3 from having won that first set, and leads 4-2 with a breaker serve in the second set. Jannik Sinner with a serve down the centre, and it's an ace. Good serve from Jannik Sinner, so an ace down the centre. The fourth ace of the match for Jannik Sinner. So 15 love in this service game. Sinner with a serve out wide. Christopher Eubanks for a backhand slice return, and Sinner with a forehand, and Eubanks forehand, and the Jannik Sinner backhand volley. Eubanks with the backhand to Sinner's backhand, and then Eubanks with a backhand to the left of the court, and the backhand is over net, and Jannik Sinner gets to it with a forehand slice, but can't quite get it over the net. So 15 all, Christopher Eubanks point. So 15-all on this Jannik Sinner service game. Jannik Sinner with a serve hits the net. Serve towards down the centre, but hits the net. So a second serve for Jannik Sinner. Jannik Sinner second serve, middle of the box. Eubanks returns a forehand, and Sinner forehand to Eubanks backhand, but then Eubanks backhand is just wide and out. So 30-15 Jannik Sinner in this service game of Jannik Sinner's. Sinner with a wide serve, and it's just wide and just out, or a little bit too wide, so out. Sinner with a serve more towards the centre of the box, serve across to Eubanks forehand. Sinner backhand and Eubanks forehand, ball striking rally, and then Eubanks and Sinner with forehand to forehand, and Eubanks with a forehand serve. Sinner returns with a forehand slice, and then Eubanks at the net with two volleys after Sinner returning, and then Jannik Sinner's forehand hits the top of net and is just out after it hit the top of net, but got to the other side of the net, but just out. And it's Christopher Eubanks' point, and it's 30-all. Marketa Vondrousova leads 5-3 in this second set. The Rebeka Masarova, so still a single breaker serve. Marketa Vondrousova, one more game in that set from winning the match. So on to Marketa Vondrousova, the Rebeka Masarova. And Vondrousova wins the first point in that next game, as well as Rebeka Masarova serving at 5-3 Vondrousova in the second set. So love 15 on this Rebeka Masarova service game. Masarova with a serve more towards down the centre. Vondrousova returns, and Masarova gets to a short ball just by net, but then the forehand slices over the net, but just out. So love 30. Marketa Vondrousova potentially 2 points away from winning this match and going through to the second round of the French Open. Masarova with a wide serve, but it's just out. So second serve for Rebeka Masarova in this service game. Masarova was a bit of a wide serve again. Vondrousova returns the backhand, and backhand for Masarova after that is out. So love 40 and 3 match points for Marketa Vondrousova. Masarova with the wide serve, and it's just out. So a second serve for Rebeka Masarova. Masarova's second serve is out, and Marketa Vondrousova is into the second round of the French Open, and Marketa Vondrousova wins 6-1, 6-3, and is through to the second round of the French Open in 2 sets. Marketa into the second round of the French Open.